Welcome to London Stadium this Sunday afternoon, where West Ham welcome Newcastle in a clash loaded with implications. The Hammers sit perilously near the foot of the Premier League table, while the Magpies arrive with momentum and confidence. West Ham are yet to win this season at home and have lost their last three league matches. They've conceded 20 goals in 9 games, the worst defensive record in the division. For West Ham, it's a must-win or risk the worst start to a Premier League season in their history. New coach Nuno will be hoping to see positive signs of change after having spent some time on the training ground with his team. Newcastle, by contrast, have won 3 in a row across all competitions and arrive unbeaten in their last 6 visits to the London Stadium. It's a chance for them to climb clear of the mid-table pack and exploit a host in turmoil. Team news and Callum Wilson lines up against his former side as struggling West Ham make 3 changes for the visit of Newcastle. Nuno has recalled Wilson, Matheus Fernandes and Freddie Potts in place of Tomas Soucek, Andy Irving and the injured Ollie Scarles. It looks like manager Nuno may have switched to a back 4. Newcastle makes 6 changes from the side who defeated Tottenham in the Carabao Cup midweek. Nick Pope, Sven Botman, Joelinton, Bruno Guimaraes, Jacob Murphy and Anthony Gordon all come into the side. Defender Kieran Trippier misses out through illness. Kickoff is coming, and as a restless buzz hums around the London Stadium before kickoff, as there are plans for further fan protests after the game today against the board for what they feel has been the mishandling of their club over the last number of years. For the next 90 minutes, though, the focus will be on the pitch. The floodlights gleam off claret seats, a sea of scarves held high. Song more in hope than confidence. After all, West Ham haven't won at home since February. Newcastle arrive chasing Europe. The mood is one of anxious hope. The whistle blows, and from the first touch it's chaos. West Ham start the game with good energy. Summerville comes forward down the left side. He plays it centrally by the D of the penalty area to Bowen, who sees an opportunity. He shoots. Oh my! Off the post! That was a fierce shot by Bowen. Pope was beaten. The Hammers nearly off to a dream start. But they have to be careful as Newcastle comes straight down the other end. Tonali slips Murphy down the right. The winger cuts inside Diouf once and then turns him again. Murphy decides to shoot from the edge of the box. Go! What a strike from Murphy! He opens his body and rifles into the far corner. It's past Areola before he can get down. 1 attack, 1 goal. The away end erupts. Newcastle 1-0 up. Wow! What an opening 5 minutes we have had. Poor defending though there from Diouf. He stood off Murphy way too much, which allowed the Newcastle player to go where he wanted. West Ham's heads drop for a second, but credit to them, they don't give up. Paqueta, a player whose commitment to the cause has been questioned recently, rallies the midfield, waving his arms in encouragement. Nuno Espirito Santo has set them up in a 4-2-3-1. Potts and Fernandes holding, Paqueta linking to Bowen and Summerville. They slowly begin to find rhythm, pushing Newcastle back. Bowen's pace is a constant menace. Tidy possession from West Ham. They are moving the ball well. Wilson drops a shoulder on the angle and lets fly. It's on target, but Pope blocks it away to safety. The West Ham fans respond to their team's efforts. For once they are seeing intent and energy. Then controversy ignites the stadium. On 17 minutes, Bowen bursts into the box. Thiaw lunges across. There is contact and a tangle of legs. Bowen goes down and referee Robert Jones points straight to the spot. The roar deafens the capital. West Ham's good work, it seems, has got a reward. But hold on. VAR is going to take a look at this. Slow motion replay show Thiaw's toe brushing the ball first. The referee is being called to the monitor. West Ham fear the worst. Newcastle sense redemption. Here comes the ref to speak to the crowd. Decision overturned. Ooh, the boos rain down. The home crowd are incandescent, but the noise, it seems, lifts the players. Tackles start flying. Potts crunches into Bruno Guimaraes. Wan-Bissaka slides cleanly on Barnes, winning the tackle, and pumps his fist toward the stands. The fans respond, sensing their players are up for the fight today. Gradually, West Ham take control. Fernandes begins to press higher. Paqueta drifts deeper, dictating tempo. Newcastle's midfield drops off. Their 4-3-3 looks narrow, leaving space for Summerville wide left. The Dutchman twists Dan Burn inside out, flashing a low cross that Wilson nearly taps home. Danger for West Ham now, though, as Newcastle have a corner. Remember, the Hammers have conceded more goals from corners than any other team in the league. They do survive this one, though. On 26 minutes, West Ham have a corner of their own. Pope comes out and just about scrambles it away from danger. Shortly after, Diouf gets involved down the left and delivers a fine ball that Pope has to punch away again. It drops to Summerville, who completely misses his kick from 15 yards. A proper fresh air shot there. We've reached the half-hour mark and West Ham are coming on strong now. First, a smart save by an ever more busy Pope from a free kick taken by Paqueta, which goes out for a corner. Pope got down really well and his clipped save takes the ball onto the post and out. The corner comes in and it's met with a firm header from Kilman from 12 yards out, but it's straight at Pope, who has to turn it over the crossbar. It has been a good response by West Ham since conceding the goal. On 35 minutes, a scrambled clearance loops to the edge of the box. Paqueta kills it with his chest, shifts left, lashes from 25 yards. Goal! Paqueta! It swerves wickedly. Pope's glove grazes it but can't stop it. The net ripples, the stadium explodes. The Brazilian sprints to the corner, tapping the badge, eyes blazing. That's his first since the 3-0 win over Forest in August. It's West Ham 1, Newcastle 1. Replays show that Pope was on that side of the goal, but he somehow didn't keep it out. The goalkeeper has been faultless up to now, but he will feel he could have done better, should have done better. West Ham, however, get the equaliser they have deserved. Newcastle have offered very little since their goal. Nuno will be delighted with the character he said have shown to get back into this game. The goal seems, though, to have stirred Newcastle out of the stupor they were in. On 39 minutes, 2 passes straight through the West Ham lines sees Gordon with a shot at goal from 20 yards. It's a powerful effort that needs tipping away by the goalkeeper. Areola did well, a good right hand. It shows that Newcastle can get at this West Ham team, if they have the desire to do so. 2 minutes later, nice football from Newcastle, but Woltemade linking the play. Then Murphy decides to have a go from 22 yards, but it sails over the crossbar. Howe will be disappointed with Newcastle's first half display. They've lacked a lot of energy. Almost at half-time, West Ham have stood strong under Newcastle's pressure from set pieces, which we mentioned has been an Achilles heel for them this season. Although it's fair to say the Toon's deliveries from set plays haven't been on point so far. 5 minutes to be added on. Newcastle are finishing the half with a bit more possession. West Ham have the ball now, though, down this right side, and it's Wan-Bissaka, who's been tireless so far this half, overlapping for the 10th time. He cuts inside, drills a low ball across the 6-yard box. Botman stretches. Goal! Oh my! It's an own goal! The Dutchman, in his efforts to cut out the cross, only serves in directing it past Pope and into his own net. London Stadium goes wild. Hammers fans have been starved of anything to cheer about recently, and they are lapping up every bit of this, from a goal down to a goal up. And that's it, half-time. The London Stadium serenades the West Ham players off the field. For once, the noise is joy, not anger. Newcastle fans look at their players and wonder what has happened to them. They just have not turned up today. They will expect better from their team in the second half. Eddie Howe reacts fast. He sends on Schar, Ramsey and Osula for Krafth, Gordon and Woltemade. for the second half, a tactical shuffle to a 3-4-3. The second half begins and Newcastle push Tonali higher, trying to pin West Ham back. But Nuno's men are ready. Their line drops a few yards deeper. Potts shields the defence and Soucek is warming up already in response to those Newcastle changes, you feel. West Ham try to counter. Bowen gets down the line and sends a cross into the middle. Summerville gets into a dangerous position centrally but can't divert the effort on target. It's all getting a bit scrappy out there, and that will suit West Ham just fine. All the pressure is on Newcastle to get back into this, but they are playing this second half without Anthony Gordon and now without Nick Woltemade. West Ham have to be careful that they don't retreat too deep. Callum Wilson is becoming isolated up front, and the defence have to get up the pitch and trust that they can keep their high line. For a spell, Newcastle dominate the ball, 80% possession across 15 minutes, but their play is sterile. Bruno's diagonal pass floats out harmlessly, and Murphy's early spark has faded. West Ham have registered 5 shots on target in this game so far, only managing more in a Premier League match once this season, where they had 8 against Forest in August. Are we seeing the start of West Ham turning their season around? If they can see this out, they've got Burnley at home next Saturday before the international break. On the hour mark, West Ham make a change. Wilson off to a round of applause from both sets of fans. Soucek is on. West Ham morph into a 4-4-1-1 it seems. Soucek will offer height and muscle on the break. Newcastle coming forward now. They decide to put the ball into the box and they win the second ball for a change. It falls to Murphy, who strikes from 18 yards, but it zips wide of the post. Better though from Newcastle. On 65 minutes, Botman is replaced by Barnes. This is not a game that the Dutchman will have fond memories of. That change should mean that Murphy will go to right back. Here come West Ham now. Bowen, just outside the penalty area on the left side, sends in an in-swinging cross with his right foot. Soucek challenges for the ball, which is allowed to drop just outside the 6-yard box. Goal! Freddie Potts smashes the loose ball into the roof of the net. He wheels away in celebration to the home fans. But wait a minute. The flag is up. VAR are going to have to check this. Soucek is the man at the heart of the decision. Here comes the review. It's offside. Oh, more heartache for the Hammers. In the offside image we are shown, it's Soucek's toe, which was just ahead of the play, from a cross into the box. Potts was alive to the loose ball and swept it home. The youngster is cruelly denied a goal on his first Premier League start. I have to say, this new offside visual that they show, we just have to believe what they show us. But is that a good thing? I know the old drawing the line system had its faults, but we could at least see the positions clearly. West Ham are 20 minutes or so from a first win since Nuno Espirito Santo took charge. Also, a first home win in the league since the 17th of February. They've been that bad at home, but not today. Today they've come from behind to lead. For once in this stadium, 20 minutes to go and almost everyone is still here. What's happened to Newcastle's away form? They haven't won away from home in the league since early April. Yes, and they've been second best for chunks of this game. We've reached the 75th minute mark and Newcastle starting to turn the screw but aren't creating anything of note. West Ham defending their box well. Nuno's prints all over this second half performance. Defend strong and break at speed. What is noteworthy is that the players seem to be buying into it. I don't know what Nuno said to the players during the week, but it has worked wonders. West Ham are a different beast today. There has been very little flair from Newcastle. That has got to be worrying for Eddie Howe, who is getting ready to make another change. So much possession and yet so little threat. 3 shots in this half, none on target. Newcastle make a substitution, Murphy replaced by Elanga. Some of the Toon fans voiced their disapproval of that, frustration simmering. Shortly after, Nuno also makes a change. Summerville departs for Walker-Peters. Now it's the West Ham fans to question their coach's decision. West Ham are struggling to get out, and Crescencio Summerville is the one player to take you up the pitch. 10 minutes to go minimum. Oh, that's really poor play from Newcastle in the final third. That just about sums up their day so far. Tonali tries to link with Elanga, but a poor pass ends rolling out of play. Paqueta has been a changed man today. He seems to have rediscovered his mojo. He has been delightful in possession, very classy. Random stat for you there now, but West Ham haven't lost a Premier League home game they were leading in as of the 80th minute or later since September 2013 against Everton. They led till the 83rd minute in that game. Can they hang on for the win? 85 minutes gone, just 4 shots in the second half by Newcastle to an expected goals figure of 0.21. It's been very stale and predictable. Eddie Howe's team have not registered a shot on target since the 39th minute. West Ham now make another change, sending on Igor for the impressive Fernandes. Mention out to Wan-Bissaka. I have not always been his biggest cheerleader, but today the fullback has thrown himself at crosses, blocked shots with his chest, won rebounds and cleared his lines. No wonder the crowd are chanting his name. Newcastle pushing every man forward. Tonali lofts another diagonal. Byrne climbs, flicks, but no one attacks a second ball. The Magpies look drained, out of ideas. 60% possession for Newcastle, but they've done so little with it to trouble their opponents. We've reached the 90-minute mark, and Newcastle make a final effort to get the equaliser they barely deserve. Elanga has it on this right side. He sends in a neat cross. Osula gets up from 12 yards out ahead of his marker to get in the header, but it lacks power and is straight at Areola. That was Newcastle's first attempt on target of the second half. 5 minutes to be added on. The stands collectively inhale. A rare but much needed break now from West Ham as Bowen steals the ball from a hesitant Schar. The England international gets into the box. It's a power-packed strike, but it's wide. Bowen wants a corner, but it's not given. Can Newcastle create just one more chance? A bit of gamesmanship now as we reach the 5th minute of added time. Areola is down with cramp, it seems. Yes, you heard me right. The West Ham goalkeeper has cramp. Newcastle have everyone forward, but West Ham win the ball and can break. Paqueta, exhausted yet inspired, treads a perfect ball behind Byrne. Bowen, still full of running, sprints clear and into the penalty area. He shoots low, Pope blocks, but can't hold it. Soucek charges in. Goal! He slides in and slams the ball home from 3 yards. The stadium freezes though as VAR checks a possible offside and whether Pope had enough hands on the ball before Soucek stormed in. Oh, the longer the wait goes on, the more nervous the Hammers become. Here it comes. Then the board flashes. Goal stands! The eruption could power the floodlights. Soucek turns to accept the adoration of the crowd. Paqueta pumps both fists at the sky. Nuno wears a wide smile. Shortly after the whistle goes for full time. West Ham's first home league win since February. 9 months of frustration vanish in one afternoon. The players embrace, the fans sing themselves hoarse. I'm forever blowing bubbles bellows around the ground. For Nuno, it's vindication. His side, so often brittle, look organised, brave, united. Wan-Bissaka's best performance for a long time, tireless and disciplined. Paqueta, the conductor, decisive in both halves. Bowen, relentless, the heartbeat. Soucek, the match winner. Tactically, Nuno nailed it. A disciplined 4-2-3-1 morphing into a compact 4-4-2 when defending. The midfield double pivot shielded perfectly. Fullbacks timed overlaps without leaving gaps. Newcastle dominated the ball, 65% possession, yet managed only 2 shots on target. For Eddie Howe, frustration. His side started well, but wilted under West Ham's aggression. Murphy's opener promised control. Instead, they lost jewels, lost shape, and ultimately lost belief. Botman's own goal and Pope's late fumble summed up a weary performance. The post-match chants roll on. We've got our West Ham back, sing the fans. The league table still shows a relegation fight, but something has changed. A spark of defiance, of unity. For Newcastle, it's a long, frustrating journey back up north. At full time, under those bright London lights, hope returns to the Hammers, and for the first time in months, it feels real. It finishes here, West Ham 3, Newcastle 1.